Previously in our last episode, Fushi promised Peronia that they would escape the island no matter what. To achieve that, our hero needed to win the island's arena battle royale. He managed to win the first 3 rounds of the tournament. After the 3rd round, the knocker ambushed him, but thanks to Tonari and the others' help, they managed to beat the knocker, making him regain his lost memories. After defeating the knocker, everyone including our hero had a feast to celebrate their win. Looks like our hero now took a liking to Tonari and her gang. Lupa, the bandaged girl from Totari's gang, offered our hero another cow's blood, which our hero gladly accepted. Yoroi, the blonde kid, asked our hero to tell his life story. He explained that he could imitate the vessel of the person he met after they died. He also told them that Knocker's objective was to take those vessels to him. He also told them that the bear form they fought was also one of his forms. Mia, the red-haired girl, asked Fushi if the Knocker was that powerful, and why didn't he just steal the Knocker's form. Fushi replied that he thought that wouldn't be possible because Knocker was not necessarily a human or a thing. Nando, the mean-looking dude he fought in the 3rd round, questioned his relationship with the hooded guy. He told him that the reason he was doing what the hooded guy said was because he didn't want to lose more memories. Everyone was smiling as they shared their dream after leaving the island. Fushi turned his attention to Tonari and asked her about her dream. She said her dream was to surprise her dad. Everyone was confused by her answer because everyone knew that her dad was already dead. The boss interrupted their conversation, saying that it wouldn't be possible for the captain to help them in procuring a ship. The feast continued until everyone fell asleep. While Tonari was sleeping, Fushi saw Tonari's journal, and he decided to open it. In the journal, it was written that Tonari's dream was to make everyone happy. Tonari woke up and saw Fushi leaving. She apologized once again for bringing him to the island, and that time Fushi accepted her apology. Flashback to when Tonari was still an innocent child. She told her pet owl named Ligard that her dream was to surprise her dad. While she was innocently sharing her dream with the owl, her mom interrupted them, saying that her dad was finally home. Every day for her was like sky and rainbows until one day she saw her mother lying dead on the floor. His father was accused of murdering her mother. Because of this, his father was sent to the island, and she decided to follow him there. On the island, Tonari and her father experienced cultural shock because there was no law. Everyone was allowed to do what they wanted, including murder. So his father decided to join the battle arena to escape the island. He promised Tonari that after the tournament they would meet up at the port. Her father won the battle royale, but the man he saw wasn't the father she knew. It was something else. It was like a demon. She can't accept the fact that the man she saw was her father. She tried to look for her father in the pile of corpses, but her father was nowhere to be seen. She went to the port where she and her father promised to meet up. There was where she got the journal, and it was a gift from her father. On top of the journal, there was a letter from her father. While she was reading the letter, she saw her father dying from poison. Her father apologized to her before dying. Then, the 2 men who poisoned her father threw her father into the sea. But she just ignored them and let her father throw him into the sea. Later, she met Mia, and they immediately became friends. While she was with Mia, she met Sande, Yoroi, and Upa, with whom she also became friends. Years later, she met our hero. Then a woman in a red robe asked her to place Fushi on the ship because Fushi can win the battle royale and help her and her friends escape the island. Back to the present, our hero climbed up the tall wall to meet Peronia. He told her that after the final round, he and Peronia could now escape the island. Before the final round started, Tonari made Fushi touch Upa's blow dart, which he could use to make the enemy unconscious if he ever struggled against his opponent. The final round began, and his opponent was the same woman who asked Tonari to bring him to the island. It was revealed that the woman was Hayes. While they fight, Hayes reveals that she is also the one who killed Perona. After hearing that, our hero becomes reckless because of his desire to kill Hayes. He tried to stab her with a sword, but Hayes dodged it and knocked him out conscious. Hayes was declared as the winner of the battle royale. She desperately proposed to everyone in the stadium to protect Fushi no matter what. They refused her offer, saying that Fushi was on the island because of her. She replied to them saying that Fushi was a creature bestowed from heaven. She then announced that she didn't plan to rule over the island but instead wanted to give the rulership to Tonari. Tonari knew that the villagers wouldn't accept her as a leader, so she snuck to escape the arena. While Hayes is taking our hero in a secluded, he is still unconscious. While he was unconscious, he had a dream where he was with Rian, the booze man, and Shin. They cheered our hero up by saying that he had the power of the people he loved. In the same dream, Hayes came up and started licking our hero. It turns out that she planned to have a child with Fushi by raping him. Thankfully, they were interrupted when they heard Tonari calling for him. While Tonari and her friends were running, they saw the room where Fushi was located. But when they finally managed to enter the room, our hero was nowhere to be seen. Inside the room, they saw Hayes telling them that she had already taken him away. As they leave the room, they are stopped by the ship captain and Hayes' men. Tanari's owl Ligard tries to help Tanari and the others, but Hayes shoots the owl. Things were about to get worse, but our hero suddenly popped up and pointed a sword at Hayes. He proposed to Hayes that he would stay on the island only if she let Pioran, Tanari, and the others leave the island. Hayes agreed to his terms. Before Tanari leaves the island, she is given a chance to choose 700 people that she wants to bring with her. She told everyone that she would be only taking her friends, Pioran, and all the children to the island. Before they left, she saw Nando's brother argue that he refused to leave without him. But Nando kept convincing him that he should leave the island. Then Tanari told Nando that he could board the ship because she wanted to carry out Fushi's promise to him. At the port, Pioran told Fushi that she would be waiting for him at Zeton. Their conversation was cut short when Hayes came up and knocked Pioran out. She also knocked Fushi, Tanari, and the others out of consciousness. Inside the ship, Tanari woke up before everyone else. She saw her boss standing behind her and she asked him to untie her. After the boss untied her, she requested to help her leave the ship because she planned to help Fushi. The boss helped her, but before she took off with a boat, they were spotted by one of Hayes' men. Before the guard could reach her, Ligard attacked the guard, preventing her from reaching Tanari. Nando saw what happened and asked Tanari why she was leaving the ship, but rather than answering, she told him that she wanted him to take care of everyone. Another of Hayes' men saw Tanari leaving the ship. They were about to report her to Hayes, but the ship captain stopped them. She knew that Fushi was hidden somewhere under a well, so she tried to help him escape there. While she was executing her plan, a person threw a rock at her. It was revealed that Fushi was the one who threw the rock because he already escaped the good prison. He asked Tanari why she came back to the island. She shyly replied to him that it was only because she felt bad for leaving him. Fushi told her that now she was back on the island she had no choice but to protect her, which Tanari blushed after hearing that. At night, they were about to leave the island using a boat, but the weather didn't look good, so they camped inside a cave. Inside the cave, Tanari wonders when the knockers will strike again. Fushi told her that he didn't know, but the hooded guy promised to update him when the time came. Tanari then brought up her past. She told him after she saw her father smiling after winning the arena battle royale. She assumed that her father was the one who killed her mother. So, for all her life she wishes for all criminals to die, which makes her hate herself because she is a hypocrite. Before they sleep, Fushi tells her that it doesn't matter if their parents are demons. What matters is that they have a dream they need to achieve. The next day, Tanari decided to have a new dream, and that was to live happily with everyone. Before they leave, the hooded guy informs our hero that the knocker is attacking the town. He asked Tanari to leave without him because he planned to save the villagers. But Tanari refused to leave. He told him that he should leave the villagers because they were convicted criminals and they deserved to die anyway. But our hero was adamant about saving the villagers. The knockers were using the corpse as their host. While Fushi was fighting the knockers, Tanari came to fight along with him. A knocker then tried to ambush Tanari from behind, but thankfully Tanari's friends were there to save her. The unending ambush of the knockers continues until they are exhausted. So, they tried to go to the corpse pit and burn all the corpses instead. But then the knockers attack Upa from beneath the ground. Mia tried to help Upa to stand up, but instead, Upa stabbed her. It turns out that Upa's was already under the knockers' control. They retreated, bringing Mia along with them. They tried to help Mia, but none of them knew how to treat a stabbed person. Fushi then tried to face Upa once again. He tries to slash Upa to get her out of her misery, but he can't. Meanwhile, the gang was trying to escape from the knockers' ambushes, but they were interrupted when a knocker suddenly grabbed Yorui's arm. So Yoroi did the noblest act that he could do. He asked Sandal to go to the nest along with Tanari to finish the knockers once and for all. Yoroi chopped his arm off to escape from the knockers' attack, and he managed to save Fushi before he died. As the knocker was about to take control of him, he said that they don't need to worry about him because he is going to be with Mia and Upa in the afterlife. On the top of a hill, Hayes was observing the chaos that the knockers caused. As she observed, a knocker attacked her and tried to take control of her. But the knocker failed to control her because her obsession with Fushi was stronger compared to the knockers. She then saw Sandal and Tanari heading towards the corpse's pit. She tried to throw a kunai at Tanari, but our hero managed to stop her in time. Even though Hayes was in a dire situation, she was thrilled at the fact that Fushi looked like he was ready to kill her. Back to Tanari and Sandal. Due to their exhaustion, Tanari tripped and was unable to stand up. The knockers were about to attack Tanari, but Fushi came just in the nick of time to save them. Using Gugu's body, he burned all the remaining knockers. The hooded guy applauds him for his efforts because now there are only 3 knockers left. And those 3 knockers were none other than the knockers who were inside Yoroi, Mia, and Upa's body. Fushi apologized to them for not being able to save them, but Tonari took the blame instead. Sandal interrupted them by saying that no one was at fault because none of them wanted this to happen. While they were having their emotional moment, Hayes took Tonari and Sandler. She offers to Fushi to let her kill them instead because she wants him to remain pure by not being able to kill someone. While she was negotiating with our hero, Tonari regained her consciousness. She pulled herself along with Hayes off a burning pit, but Fushi saved them both, preventing them from dying. Tonari stood up determined to finish Yoroi, Mia, and Upa, but Fushi didn't let her and took the blade off Tonari. Later, Tonari reminisces about her moments with Yoroi, Mia, and Upa. While she was telling her story with them, the villagers went inside the room and saw the kids' corpses. They fell on their knees crying at the fact that they had come back to the island just to save them. While the dead bodies are being cremated, a man approached them requesting a message to boost the villagers' morale. Tonari told him that a mountain of corpses draws evil, therefore to prevent evil is to stop the killing. At dusk, Fushi asked Sandal and Tonari their plan for what to do next. Sandal told him that they planned to stay on the island. The next day, Tonari told Fushi that wanted to help the lost souls on the island, so that the same event would never happen again. She wanted to transform the island into a place where the dirt can be purified. A few days later, Fushi was about to leave the island. He decided to take Hayes along with him. Before leaving, Fushi thanked them for everything. As he rode the boat, Tonari shouted at him and said that she might visit him one day, but she got embarrassed and took it back. Tonari then told Ligard that it should go with Fushi so it can finally be free, and if the right day comes, Ligard can guide her to him someday. In the middle of the ocean, Hayes woke up. Fushi asked what her goal was. She told him that her goal was to be by her side. She killed Perona and March because she was jealous of them. Hayes then asked our hero to kill her so that he could take her vessel. Fushi rejected her. She left her alone in the middle of the ocean. Later, a knocker climbed up the boat where Hayes was and attacked her. Fushi finally reached the place where he and Pioran promised to meet. He hesitated to approach her because he knew that he would only give her trouble. He wandered the streets alone in search of a place to sleep. He found an alley and there he decided to spend the night, but he remembered that Pioran had no money, so he rushed back to the restaurant to give Pioran some money. But he saw Pioran was doing well even without his help. Later, while Pioran was sleeping, he put some fruit beside her as an indicator that he would be leaving. As he was about to leave, a thought came to him that Pioran might wait for him forever. So, he wrote a letter and gave it to her. The next day, the same thing happened. He went for Pioran, but that time she wasn't inside the room anymore. She saw Pioran being taken away by a man who was trying to bring her back to Jananda Island. Pioran hit the guy with a crane and left. Fushi kept on stalking Pioran even at night. As he stalked Pioran, the hooded guy came up and told him that he should decide whether to be with Pioran or not, because all humans will die at one point. If he decides to go with Pioran, the knockers might kill her, and if he doesn't, she will die because of old age. While Pioran was sleeping, he gave her wool to keep her warm, but because of it, Pioran woke up and immediately knew that it was our hero even though she was using Mia's body. Fushi and Pioran enjoyed their life together at Sarline Forest. As they spent their time together, Fushi was planning on how to keep Pioran safe. The day has come when Pioran has started showing signs of old age. She started experiencing back pain, mood swings, and even dementia. Even though the hooded guy told Fushi about it, he refused to accept it. Fushi simply continues to take care of Pioran. One day, Pioran asked Fushi to bring the fish and potatoes they left out to dry. While Fushi was gone, Pioran told the hooded guy that she wanted to be reborn into something that could be more useful to Fushi. For unknown reason, she saw the hooded guy. The hooded guy told her that if her body changed, she would forget about Fushi. Despite the consequences, Pioran is still determined. When Fushi came back, Pioran was already dead. He was devastated and once again he was lost and didn't know what to do. Using his power, he created the scroll where he wrote his plan when he was with Pioran. Inside the scroll, he saw Pioran's writing telling him that he should do what he wanted to do. So Fushi decided to continue living. In the pursuit of searching for the true meaning and purpose of life, our hero, Fushi, has gone through ups and downs. He met and said goodbye to different kinds of people who instilled their values in him. He learned happiness, camaraderie, and even the painful goodbye along the way. Despite the heartbreaks, he ultimately chooses to live his life to the fullest. But our hero's adventure isn't over yet because life must keep going. So, join us in another season where our hero will bring us on another roller coaster of emotions.